Okay, so you know that today we will start with the root chakra. We have heaps of different chakras, and we will focus in these 8 ones. Well, this is me. You already know me. I'm doing this online because, you know, I work with light workers, and I was told that we need to work together. And I'm specifically working with light workers who were incarnated in Lemuria. Lemuria was an ancient civilization that existed before Atlantis, and people who live in Lemuria may have more than one life. So there were different kind of lifestyles in Lemuria. When I say different kind of lifestyles is because in Lemuria, so I'm not sure how much you know about Lemuria, but I will tell you a little. This is a very, quick explanation of Lemuria, because it's a civilization that lasts for thousands of years. So I could say 100 things about Lemuria, but just for us to picture what are we here for, and how are we all connected from the Lemurian times. So in Lemuria we had different kind of incarnations that were not fully physical. So it means that our multidimensional consciousness was still awakened. So it means that now we are living in the third dimension. So our consciousness is quite limited to the third dimension. And it means that we are this person into this physical body. The majority of the time in our life. But when we are going through this awakening of consciousness, we start to interact with higher dimensions, with the fourth dimension, with the fifth dimension, and our life stops being that limited by this physical body. We start to, well, this is like a good example of not being limited by the physical body, because we are connecting and we are all in different countries. And we still can feel each other's energy field. Perhaps not right now, or perhaps you do, I'm not sure how you feel right now, but eventually you will see with the next workshops that space and time is not a barrier, it's not a problem. You can still feel and work with someone, even if it's in another country, the same as you can work with someone who's sitting next to you in your house. And that's part of the reason why we are doing this online, and why we are each of us in different countries. When I say each of us, I'm talking about the light workers. We haven't incarnated all together in the same town. Even in the same country, we might be from different places in the country, so we may see each other maybe only once. When you're traveling and you meet that person, and then the relationship continues, but you don't really see that person in your daily life physically. This is a good moment for you to think, while I am talking, if you have met other light workers when you were traveling, maybe, or not traveling as a backpacker or something, but perhaps you did, sometimes we do, like you went for a conference or something to a place, and then you met a person in a hotel for those 2 days, and then you felt that connection with the person, and that person is still there in your life, and this is a deeper connection than the one you guys could build in those 2 days when you were sharing the same hotel. Feels like from past lives, and feels like your mission is similar to hers or him's. So it's important for us to think about that people, because this is our network of light workers in the world. And I will say that all of us light workers, we at some stage of our life we will become international. This is something we all have in common. You will never feel, even if you stay in your same town forever, you will feel like, no, this is not for me. I need to go out, I need to meet people. I need to learn another language or explore the world. And part of that need of exploring the world is for you an opportunity for exploring your 5D consciousness and for meeting your soul family. And not only soul family, I mean people from the same spirit, because the spirit splits in different soulmates, and that will be your soul family. But there is also a soul tribe, which is people who are very close to you in terms of life purpose, mission, energy, and that probably you already spent many lifetimes involved in the same circumstances, but maybe not being family members, but perhaps they were there, Like, for example, I met a person just 1 month ago, and I asked to my guys where I know this person from, and I was in Atlantis in the government, and he was one of the masters in one of the temples, initiation temples. So he wasn't my family or my best friend or something, but I knew him because we were both kind of important people in that city. So even if I wouldn't spend every day with him, I know him, because, yeah. So we were light workers. That's very important for me to highlight as well. It's not that we were all together like best friends always, no. But we knew each other, like Trump and Putin. They may not be friends, they not see each other every day, but they know each other. They are always into each other's life. So something like that. They probably know from past lives. They've probably been into each other's lives since ever. Yeah. So this is a time for us for reunion. As more we rise our energy, we are more like to meet other people like us. And there is a reason why. Because we are here, when you meet a person from your soul tribe, they will help you to activate your memories. And when you activate your memories, you have first of all this chance of exploring your multidimensional consciousness, because when you have a really close friend or a person who you are really close to your heart and is in another country, for example, Fer and I, we are really good friends, and we are totally different careers. She's 11 or 12 hours or 11 hours, I don't know, depending the time of the year, different time, and we still meditate together or channel together or do things because she's a Reiki master. So yeah, and this is a good opportunity for me to explore my multidimensional consciousness because I can feel her. And when you start feeling another person, you know how's the person feeling that day without talking to the person. That's the multidimensional consciousness, which is not limited by the 5 senses that we know of this physical body. In Lemuria, we were all connected. We had this multidimensional consciousness active. So it means that the incarnations in Lemuria, the different incarnations, for example, there is one of the incarnations that we were, I'm not saying all of people here were the same. You need to see your own past lives. But for example, myself, I was a mermaid. And being a mermaid, I wasn't like holding hands with anyone all day. No, not at all. But I could feel my family. I felt one with my family. The same way like probably fish, in the water, they feel one with the whole, I don't know the name in English, but cardumen, the fish group. You know, like the fish go all together.
Skull of fish, is it? I don't know.
What's the word?
A skull of fish? I don't know.
Okay.
A school of fish.
That's it.
A school of fish.
Yeah, school. Yeah.
School of fish. So yeah, so they move together, right? And it's like they have this synchronicity. So this is the same for us. We had this consciousness in Lemuria, and we are awakening that consciousness again in this life. And with our soul tribe or our soul family, we're doing similar things, you know, because if you see them, we start mirroring each other a little bit, and seems like we are all on the same page. In it, for sure, there are differences. Like I said about Fernanda and I, she's a doctor. I'm not a doctor. I will never be a doctor. I don't like hospitals, for example. So she lives in the hospital pretty much every day. Different, yes, in the surface, yeah, but maybe there are other things that in the inside that are the same, because she wants to help people and I want to help people as well, yeah. So then when you start to see there are people that start mirroring each other and kind of entering into this synchronicity. In Lemuria, we were being aware that we were the same spirit, even if we were split in different souls. And when being a mermaid, I was, for example, feeling my emotions were not of my egos. They were not coming from my egos. The emotions of mine were the emotions of Gaia, of the planet Earth. So I will feel depending how the ocean feels. And the ocean is connected with Gaia. So all the emotional energy that is contained into every drop of water in the ocean, because I was the ocean, being the mermaid, because I haven't had a full physical body, so I could perceive it as me. So all the interaction between Gaia, the moon, all the planets, I will feel it in my body, but at the same time, I was in Pleiades, in another star, and I could come and go, be in both places at the same time. That the other day when we were, I was with Michelle riding horses, like in the portal day. I think I told you that the horse was telling me that he was a Pleiadian, and he's here as a horse, but he's also in the other planet. I know it sounds crazy, but the 2 days after I said that, because I channeled that message from the horse, I have a client, and she came for a past life regression, and he started explaining to me everything about multidimensional consciousness. She was like, I am here, but I'm also there, and I'm talking, and she was talking with other spirits that they were all together, yeah, in Pleiades, but in planet Earth, they were in different countries. Because she was talking with the twin flame, and the twin flame was in Canada, and she's here. But she has a boyfriend, so it was very complex. But it's good for me that the things I do channel, I tell to just a small quantity of people, but then I have a client and they are saying the same. So is this what it is? So we are now awakening this 5D consciousness from Lemuria. Part of this awakening is activating the cosmic DNA, because yes, we were in Lemuria, but we all are coming from other planets, and we came to Earth for a mission, yes, as service, to serve this planet and serve other beings. We kind of sign up, you know, to be here in this awakening age. And we were preparing ourselves since the many past lives to now. Everything was a preparation process. And now we are able to see that clearly. Not sure if you can see it or not, but eventually you will. Every time will make more sense. We'll be like, yeah, makes sense that I spent different life. I've been in war. I was a native person, you know, Aboriginal in Australia. Oh yeah, everything for me today, be able to do this properly. And if you go to the past life and you try to explain to that person in the middle of the war and tell them, no, you know what, like this is a preparation because in 200 years, you will, no, for sure you won't understand back then with that consciousness. But with this consciousness, many things for you will make sense. Even you can make sense of the thing that happened to you yesterday were a preparation for something going to happen tomorrow, and you can accept it and surrender. But this is very new for humans. Why the Lemurian healing? Because this is not a healing technique like it says on the bottom. It's a way to live every day. So you may learn healing techniques, which is good because that's a tool that will help you for self-healing and heal others. But when you are activating the DNA codes, you enter into this process of not needing healing anymore, because we go there. Eventually, we mean to go to a state when we are not, we won't get sick anymore. I know this is very new and this is probably not happening tomorrow. It may happen, I'm not sure in how many years, yes? But we may be the first ones, you know, stepping into this kind of lifestyle. Me in particular, I don't get sick since, like, I don't know, long time, yeah? But this is more than getting sick. It's not about getting sick only with your physical body, but it's also having a balance in everything in your life, and stepping into your own power, and living, you know, according to your life purpose. So when you start to awaken this DNA, these codes into your DNA, something I haven't said is that, it will activate the twin flame reunion because Lemurians has a twin, or I'm not sure, to be honest, I'm not sure if everyone has a twin flame in Lemuria. I don't know all the Lemurians, but all my clients, they do. So I assume that people who feel attracted to do things with me, that they enter into my energy field, they are Lemurians, and they are light workers. Majority of them are from Pleiades. They know me. All of them know me since then. Like, I'm not a new person, and probably we were like, hey, you know what? Let's catch up in Earth, and I will help you with this. You help me with this other thing. You know, I think that was the plan. And all of them have their own twin flame. And they will start this journey of sacred sexuality as well. And when you are, the only way to awaken in the Lemurian consciousness is to activate the heart center. It's no other way. A person with lots of knowledge, but with the heart close, they can write beautiful things in social media, they can look spiritual and things like that, but if the heart is not active, they are not, they haven't awakened the Lemurian consciousness or the multidimensional consciousness. And maybe a person with zero knowledge, like a person who's not really intellectual or something, but who already activated the heart center, it could have like multidimensional consciousness active. So knowledge is another thing, different. Okay. Today we will also activate the chakra Star of Gaia. I'm not sure if you heard about this chakra, but so in the whole program, I give you information about all the different chakras, and I will explain you how they are connected with the different layers of our subtle bodies. So because the chakras, when you go with the chakras, they normally tell you, well, in the or sexual organs is the sexual chakra, or the lungs is the heart center. It's true, but it's also good information, because the chakras are working in our whole system and are connected with all our thoughts, all of them, and all of our emotions. But if you want to work in the different chakras, you will work in different frequencies that are flowing into your energy field. Then you work in those different frequencies in order to find balance. So you will tell that there are thoughts that will be bright in different frequencies. We are not here to measure the frequencies. Eventually I will, because there is a machine that's sold in California and I want to buy that machine because it's really good. And they can measure things with the color frequencies. Already exist machines to do that, more in a scientific way. But from this perspective, we are not going to measure the different frequencies, but we will try to identify, yes, what thoughts, what symptoms, and what emotions are more connected with one chakra or the other, or are the combination of the different chakras interacting, or the different chakras that should interact, but they are disconnected to each other. And this is more for sure, depending if you are a healer, if you work as a healer, like for example Michelle, she will pay much more attention on these things and in the details. If you're not working as a healer, or you don't want to use this as a tool for your own healing technique, then you will focus more in your intuition and thinking how to find a balance into yourself. It's part of our mission to embody this person fully. So this chakra is below our feet, and it's the chakra that is connecting us with the consciousness of Gaia as well. So when all the chakras are connected, the chakras that you see here in the picture, and the heart is active, and the crown chakra is also, the rainbow consciousness chakra, which is our multidimensional consciousness, is active. And our star of Gaia chakra is also active. We will start feeling planet Earth the same as we were feeling planet Earth when we were in Lemuria. It means that we will connect not anymore with planet Earth, but with Gaia, which is the consciousness of planet Earth. Is this being? Planet Earth is alive. It's a soul or a spirit. It's a big spirit that the native people in South America call Gaia Pachamama. And probably natives in America have another name, and also in Australia. But they all refer to the same being. When we are connecting with Gaia, we start to feel her. So we won't be able to damage Gaia again, because we understand we are her. So it means we are the trees, we are the plants, we are the animals. So all our life habits will change, because we are not feeling any more disconnected from planet Earth. We feel that connected that we need to develop a lifestyle that can coexist with a harmony. So if you are a doctor, you will be very mindful to, from now onwards, to be in harmony with planet Earth. So you may reject working with certain toxic pills or with things, and then if there's nothing in there for you, then you might feel the feeling of creating something new. Or if you're an architect, you will feel like building new kind of houses that could be, in what's where? I forgot the name in English, but even in Spanish. But when the houses are environmental friendly, eco-friendly, yeah. So all those things, and you can tell that all those things are environmentally friendly, and all those things.
Yes, or for short, yes, eco-friendly for short is good.
Thank you. Thank you. So all those things you see that are happening lately is not because of fashion. It's because humans, especially light workers who are the pioneers in this, they are connecting with Gaia, and then you're like, no, we need to change this. These things are not changing because of facts, because of statistics. Statistics were there always. But people is now feeling the need of changing because they can feel Gaia. So that's inspiration for creating a new paradigm. So see how important it is for us to communicate, to work together, and to help each other to activate the different chakras and the DNA codes, because we are changing the world. When I say we, it's because we are all doing something. We are all like ants, the light workers, working together and synchronized to each other. And we need to be spread in the world. This is not for us to move all together to a community in, I don't know, in the middle of Argentina, beautiful, and live there and smoke marijuana all day and sing songs. No, it's not for that. Because if we do that, eventually we will lose who we are. We'll get lost, and the press and all the things that come in after. If you any doubt about that, you can try. I know you want otherwise you wouldn't be here. But see your friends, light workers who are doing that eventually they will feel in this way, and they will come to you to ask for advice. And maybe the same people who before have judged you. Because some people they judge. They are like, why you go to university, or why you want money, or want to, if you can live simple and, and you're like, no, because I feel like I have to. I have to go to uni. It's no because, I'm not sure if you've been through these tribulations, but I've been in that because now it's different, but 10 years ago, when you hang up with spiritual people, they will, for me, in my own experience, they will see me weird when I was having a big, aspirations in life, because that's the ego, they're like, oh, why you leave Argentina? You just stay here, and live simple. And no, because I have the feeling that I need to travel, that I need to learn another language, that I don't need to be attached to one culture, because this is just one culture. I'm a citizen of the world. I don't believe in the soccer competition or certain things, and people get a bit upset sometimes when they see us, us to take decisions. Even I was talking with a friend yesterday from Scotland, and he'd been living in Australia for so long, and he came back home, and his friends from childhood, they were funny to him because they were feeling like, oh, and he's practicing this thing of compassion to not, enter in that dynamic. Each of us, we go through different journeys for sure, but I just say in general, things that will happen as light workers. What are the DNA light codes? And this is a very, very important thing. In the next sessions, we will focus much more in the chakras. In this one, I need to go with this intro because it's very, very important. Anyways, we work all the chakras always. The chakras can't be worked separately. We understand them separately. I always explain like, in anatomy, Yeah. If you try to understand the bones, for example, you understand how the bones work and but they are not existing separate of the rest of the body. They are. It's all. They are connected with the digestive system. Lymphatic system, because they all need each other. To live. But we study them separately, just for us understand with our rational mind. Chakras are the same. They work all together, but we just try to understand the frequency of each of them to understand how to work, to heal them. But we always heal not one chakra, but we heal the entire system. Light codes are super, super important because we are going to activate light codes in your DNA in each session. But what happened? This is not finishing here, because you may receive more light codes in your daily life. You may find yourself doing meditation, and you may see light codes entering into your energy field through your higher chakras, or given by your spirit guides, or you may have dreams with light codes. Every day, the process will get faster and faster, and you may experience the weirdest things ever. Just don't panic. It's normal. So you don't have to do much. It's not about to get obsessed with the light codes and try to remember how they are. No, it's fine, unless you receive a specific message like, oh, look, this is a light code that you need to share with people, whatever. But if you don't go through that and they just, you only see them, it's part of the activation. Because these work unconsciously, but partly of it may work consciously, so you may still see some images or understand. Have you ever experienced, have you ever seen light codes in meditation or dreams or something? Fer, Rachel, and Michelle? Yes? Yes? Fer?
Yes.
How?
Yes.
In dreams?
I've seen them in visualizations, like in meditation and in dreams.
And the dreams are like very vivid, right? Yeah.
Where for me, where I've seen them in dreams is like they'll appear on like a rock or a tree or something like that. That's how they've come up in a dream. In meditation, it's like they'll have come out of thin air.
Michelle, have you ever seen light codes? Oh, your microphone is not working. Okay.
Oh no, still?
But I can hear you through telepathy.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, you can?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah. Oh, you can, yeah, because I'm on my phone as well as my computer, because the computer is not working. But yeah, I've seen the light codes in meditation. One of them that's on the page there, I've seen it before, really, really clearly. It was probably the most clearest thing I've ever seen. The one that's on the page with the, it kind of looks like a star with the 4 dots around it. right in the middle near the blue circle.
Yes. This one.
That one. Yeah, that one. And it was orange, but it was orange, and it was 3D, and it was like spinning around and
crazy. I see them 3D as well, 3D-dimensional. Yes.
Yeah, I've
like
never experienced
holograms.
that before. It just came out of nowhere at the end of a meditation that I was doing with the horses, and it just appeared like so clearly. I was crazy. I loved it though. I didn't know what it was, but I do now. I know what it is now. I was like, what is this thing? Remember I told you I seen it? I was like, I saw this symbol thing, like it was just like spinning around. It was so cool.
Yeah, they had
I had no idea. Yeah, I had no idea what it was, why it was there, or what it was.
Well, they are. That's information that's being activated in your DNA, and it was since always in there. But why we are seeing the light codes, and why? What's the message behind this? What I understand is that the message is not about the light code itself, because we are not still prepared for working with the light codes like we do work with the alphabet, for example. You know, that we know the meaning of each word and we can translate to different languages and create something with that. We can't really, the consciousness is not really prepared still for doing that. So we will be a waste of time trying to do it. I think the first step for us is to understand that if we are seeing the light codes, are all signs. For me, this is for you a sign, because this could happen and you will never see it. This is like the dreams, you know, why I've been seeing things in the dream when I could not see it, and then wake up in the morning and things were already active in my energy field, and then keep going with my life. But for some reason, I wake up, you know. And when I wake up, it's always the same thing, you know. I wake up, it's 4:44, you know, and then I check the phone, my phone is lighting, you know, it's like, why, you know, because what's the need for waking up, you know? And it's like, then you tell to your friend, and your friend's like, I woke up at the same time, and then, another time, you know? And I think this is so how our multidimensional being, ourselves, is talking to ourselves. It says communication we establish with our higher self. Imagine that you are already in Pleiades. I'm pronouncing the word okay. Pleiades is Pleiades or Pleiades?
I don't know what that is.
The star. Yeah, probably I'm not
Pleiades?
Pleiades, yes. Is that the correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Pleiades. Okay.
The seven sisters. Pleiades.
Yes.
The seven sisters, right? That's
Yes.
constellation. Yeah.
Exactly. Pleiades. Because I say Pleiades, I don't know why, because probably was Spanish. Pleiades. Let's say that you have your higher self, which is a person in Pleiades. And you're trying to communicate with your human Michelle, you know? And then it's like, oh my goodness, this is very difficult to communicate with her, because I talk to her and she's like, oh, maybe it's my imagination. She keeps going. So we are trying to send messages all the time through different ways. So I think until we establish this communication through symbols, through numbers, and then the reason why they, I say they, because we are not alone in there. We are like a group of people working together. The reason why they will focus in one thing or another, it has to do with your own mission and your own purpose. So some people will see more things, other people will see less things. For example, if Fernanda needs to work with 10 children or 50 children in one day, I don't think she will be overwhelmed by light codes the night before and the whole weekend, because she needs to be well focused in her job, which involves using her rational mind. So each of us, and that doesn't mean she's less evolved than another person who is in I don't know, living in Bali at the moment and is and she's doing meditation all day and is receiving heaps of light codes. No, she's probably connected with this person in Bali and she's doing the rational part of the work, and the person in Bali is just anchored in the light codes, and they both connected to each other. Because why the person in Bali is doing pretty much nothing, she's meditating, and Fernanda is working with 50 children per day, yes, and why this person is receiving more light codes than her. No, it's the reason is because they're both the same spirit, and each of us, we're doing our very own part of this. So I wanted to highlight that, because sometimes in spirituality it seems that some people is more evolved because they are downloading something, and no, we are all, because we are all connected, we don't have to do all of us the same. We work in a team, and also think that things that you heal in yourself, you're not healing only for yourself, but you're also healing the tribe.
So they're both, so the example is that they're both contributing, just in different ways. They're both contributing, but you can't see in the ways that they're both contributing.
You can't, you say you can't see?
Right, so like, the one is contributing, she's getting all the light codes, and the other is working with 50 kids every day, right? So they're both contributing in different ways.
Oh yeah.
But you won't necessarily see the ways that they're both contributing in.
Exactly. Yes, and also both are receiving the light codes. But one of them is being conscious of that, and the other one is not conscious. But you still need to activate them. And in order to activate the light codes, we need to be, some people won't do anything of this like we're doing now, and they still will activate those light codes because they will receive other light workers when they are sleeping or something, and they will receive the activations, yes? Other people will do it actively and consciously. It's a reason why we, it's a reason why some people do it in one way and some people do it in another. We can't understand everything, but it's just for you to think, well, why I go through this process? Because I believe that people who do things consciously, their life goes a little bit more smooth, you know, because I see that in my life. Because I see the same process of mine in people that I know, and I see that sometimes I have a little bit more of control of certain situations, and the situations won't overwhelm me. And other people go, they still activate the same, you know, the consciousness, or they are healing themselves, but their process is much harder, like a roller coaster, but very more dramatic. And the reason is that one, you know. And the problem is when that people look to you and say, oh, but you are lucky. No, I'm not lucky. I was just doing 100 things when you were doing nothing, you know. This is the difference. But we all end up in the same place, but for some people it could be much more tough. And you can see it now in 2020 when we are receiving this awake. Oh, the same with the peaks. I'm checking all the time the human resonance, and I tested in myself if the days when the peak is high, so we are going plus 30 hertz with the peaks, so are very high. If I am aligned with myself, I have a really good day. Like when we were riding the horses, I have an amazing day. If I'm not aligned with myself, I will have a really tough day. So when you see the symptoms, awakening symptom process, that's very relative, because there should be any symptom if you are aligned with yourself. So people who do things consciously, they probably won't experience those ugly symptoms of getting sick or being overwhelmed by emotions and da-da-da. But when you are not aligned, then you will have all the horrible symptoms and da-da-da-da-da, yeah, and things that will trigger you and yeah. So what is a chakra? Basically, our wheels are vortex that catalyze energy in and out. They are all connected with different glands in our body. Because I will read it because it's easier in English. So each vortex supplies energy to the gland that it's connected, and it generates the chemical substances. Oh, it's so difficult to pronounce it, but you know, enzymes, neurotransmitters that activate or stop the processes. So it's very important for us to understand this part, because it's not about, like I said before, we are doing the Lemurian healing, so eventually we won't need any healing. But to get there, we need to understand how it works. I'll give you an example. This is like if you are scared of airplanes. If someone explains you how it works, and you see the statistics of accidents, and you see how safe is an airplane, and da-da-da, probably you won't be scared anymore of airplanes. Because you are moving information, yes? We are still humans. We live in duality here, and we will remain living in duality probably until the end of this life, because we are a human at the moment. So that's no matter that we have a multidimensional being super, evolved in another planet. We are still this human as well. So there are things that need to be done in the human way, and that's why we try to understand things, because we are kind of convincing our rational mind, so the rational mind can allow the higher self to exchange information. It's not magic. So that's why I do explain things, and it's important for us to understand how things work. Because otherwise we like, this is a miracle. No, this is not a miracle. Is the science behind everything, yes? So the chakras are connected with the glands and are generating chemicals that will work in our brain, and then the brain will send the orders, yes, to the rest of the physical body. That's why working in the chakra, you will create an effect in your physical body. The chakras emanate energy, and that energy creates the aura. The aura is the electromagnetic field and expands around our body. There are, however, there are different kind of auras. Everything in this world has aura. Even things that are not alive has aura. Because if I use this pen, for example, all the time, and then you may see the aura of the pen, which is an emanation of my own energy, because it's still here. So some things have aura because are emanating the aura. Other things have aura because they were absorbing the energies from places or from people. So think about that for everywhere you go, houses, buildings. If this pen can absorb my energy, and you may see my energy in this pen, imagine when you enter into a building that is all the time people in there. That's why the need of protecting ourselves all the time. And also there is an aura that is no manifestation. What's the I forgot the words. Well, it's the emanation of our own chakras, but our multidimensional being also has energy and aura that can be seen. So this aura is also connected with the chakras, but it's not locked in time and space. And it can move around into the Merkaba. So if I activate my Merkaba and I astral travel, yes, you will see my Merkaba. Anyways, for activating the Merkaba, my system needs to be healthy. Otherwise, I won't have enough energy for activating the Merkaba. Yes. But still, you will see, if you can see the aura, I can see the aura, and you see, you perceive the person, then you will understand how the person is feeling in her 3D body, even when you are connecting to her or him through the fifth D body that is traveling into that Merkaba. This is a bit advanced probably, but it's good for you to know because at some stage this will make sense. If you want to visit me in Perth, you can come here in your Merkaba and we can have a matter together. So yeah, now seems like Chinese, but believe me, in a few years, this will be very normal. And you're like, I knew that since ever. People will be talking about this, like they are talking about Reiki right now, and 10 years ago it was a weird thing. I can send this to you through email if you want. It is a study, because I know it's heaps of doctors here. Also, Maura is a doctor, so and you like to know how things work scientifically. So this was discovered for first time in California as well. So we have a person from California here. In 1988 was discovered. The aura was discovered since thousands of years ago, but measured by a machine for first time in 1988. So they could measure how many hertz has a different frequencies of each chakra, which is not, like I said before, is important. It's still important because technology will change and need to be, maybe not for me because I'm not a doctor or scientist, but eventually doctors need to have new computers or things that could prevent the illness even before it happened. Actually, Fernanda, the machine that I like that is sold in California, they can detect cancer before it is manifested in the physical body. I will send you the link because you probably want to buy the same machine. It's so cool. It's so cool. Just by the vibration of the person. And there's a company, they sell different machines. They are like thousands of dollars, right? Very expensive, but it's really good. Imagine if you think of the COVID, we are like cavemen, you know, doing that test. How silly, right? Because it's a business for sure. But having this technology, people are still doing things. Oh, well, anyways. According to Dr. Valerie Hunt, the body can be considered from a quantum concept of energy that arises from the atomic cellular nature of the body, that it traverses the tissues and systems. And this is how the aura looks like, how I see it. However, this is a picture of the there's cameras that also can take a photo of the aura, and existing technology is there. So probably in Russia they have heaps of these things as well, not only United States. Okay. This information I will send to you through email. So the chakra development. The root chakra was developed since we came to Earth for the first time. So when we were in the womb, we were developing the root chakra because it's a chakra that anchors us. Yes, that's why. That's the very first chakra we needed in order to survive as humans. So it was formed in the first 3 years of our life. So even after we left mom's body, we were still developing this chakra, which is very important because the next 2 weeks, we will be working on understanding how were our first 3 years of life. Because if I want to heal my root chakra, I will need to heal my first 3 years. I cannot carry anymore any trauma from my childhood. I can, but in order to awaken the higher chakras, I need to have a healthy root chakra. If I'm still carrying traumas, my journey will be very complicated. Because I will try to awaken the higher chakras, but with this weight that I'm carrying. And limitations, because all the traumas that I had in early age, they will be manifested as triggers and obstacles in my adulthood. Why? Because I need to be lighter, and to be lighter in terms of energy, I will need to go through challenges that will force me to look back and heal the things were not healed. Even I was talking today with a friend of mine in this morning. I did 100 thing in 2 hours. I don't know. That's why I was overwhelmed at the beginning. And she was explaining me that she did the Akashic record reading, and she was like again saying, okay, I need to fix my childhood because she doesn't remember her first years of childhood, and she had an abusive dad that were very aggressive, violent to her and her siblings, I think her mom as well. And now she has problems with the partner and are connected with those things that she don't even remember about her childhood. So instead of blaming her or the partner or something, she needs to understand that no, thanks to those circumstances she's living now, yes, she's been forced to heal things from, her very young age. So think of your parents and your relationship, specifically with your mom, because her problem as well is not how the dad was violent to her, but to her mom. Because that's the sense of surviving, and relationships, how to establish relationship that she had learned since a very young age. Yes? So that's the thing she needs to work the most. So think about your own childhood and just see if it's still something else for you to work. How I know if it's still something more to work? Just see how you are in your daily life. So, for example, myself, I was thinking about this yesterday. I was like, do I need to work more things? Because this year I've been working a lot. So I was like, is there anything else there to work before the peaks of the Schumann resonance drive me crazy? And I was like, thinking of the last week. And I was thinking, what triggered me the last week? And something triggers me. A friend of mine, he sent me a weird message and stopped talking to me or something like that. Then I was like, that I know that triggers me because I felt pain in my chest. So I was like, this hurt me. I know what he said is not truth, but it still is pain. So I was like, what it is? And I was trying to track it. And then I found out, I know where it come from, you know? It's my fear of what other people may think of me, you know? Acceptance and da-da-da. And if I track this, I will go back to Kindi, and to my parents and how my parents were looking to me, you know, what they thought about me. I remember my mom all the time saying, "Oh, she's shy," and I was like, "Oh, why people ask?" You know, I was like, "Why?" I want to, you know, I was all the time feeling like people were wondering about me, and I was feeling obsessed, you know, and that made me feel very uncomfortable. So that's something that I don't carry 100%, but a little bit. Because I felt this weight in my shoulders, like I need to be different. Because I felt the energy of my mom. She would say, she's shy, but I felt the energy of, I wish she would be popular like the other girls, but she's shy. She wouldn't say that, but I felt it, you know, in her. Because as children, we feel so many things that may maybe not be said, not that in words, but we still got it. Or those mothers who are like not happy with the children, you know, because they didn't want to have a baby or something, and they are complaining. They may be not telling to the children, I didn't want to have you. But if they are behaving all the day, the children will feel it, feel awake, will feel a problem for mom. And it will be translated in the future in all the behaviors, like, oh, I'm a problem for my partner, or I'm a problem for whatever. Yeah. So this is the root chakra, all these things, yes, and this will affect my capacity for manifesting things in life, yes. Yeah, this is the first chakra. This one is the chakra in the adult, and this is the children. Sorry, it's in Spanish, but the adult and children. Yeah, in the children is still not fully developed. And in the adult should be open and yes, active. This is the first homework for you to do. How was your early childhood? And this is something I would like you to talk to your partner, the partner here, when you have your first catch up. Talking about the childhood without judgment, just trying to remember, because when we're talking to someone, we may remember things that we didn't remember, you know, because when we start talking, then it's like pulling from a cord, and then the memories may come up. And think that you are talking with your partner, and your partner is a light worker, so she has already in her auric field lots of healing energy. So when you're talking to her, you are already healing without even having any healing technique. Yes, because this is the Lemurian healing as well. We are Lemurians, and we have all this, even if we are not fully awakened or we don't remember or we don't know we have this power, yes, but you will see the effects of people, how they feel after they connect with us. So that's why it's important to talk. How was your early childhood? A balanced chakra declares to be here and now. First of all, if your head is all over the place, is in the future, is in the past, or whatever else, means that you need to, again, see your chakras and balance the root chakra. It needs to be well affirmed, fit in physical reality. The presence of power and vitality emanates from it. It often acts as a generator, giving energy to those around and recharging their own energy system. What are the physical problems if the chakra is unbalanced? Many problems. But the learning of the soul is always to feel safe with me. in my body on the planet Earth. Learn to feel me part of a living universe, the connection with the whole. I have a story to share with you about myself. I suffered for many years of hemorrhoids, which is connected with the root chakra. And I did 100 healings, and I was like, oh my gosh, when this is a difficult one. I was like, what the hell? I did like many, many healings because I suffered of this for 7 years. I was like, no way. And I did so many things, and it was still there. So the hemorrhoids were gone when I broke up with my ex-partner. Yes. It's straight away.
Crazy.
Yeah. But there are when you heal the chakras, you will see there are many, many, many reasons. Yeah, it's not only one reason, but in short, because I could do like a case of a study of 100 pages about the hemorrhoids, but because I've been focusing on it a lot. But in short, I see how it is connected with the root chakra and this feeling of learning to feel safe with me. Because after I broke up, I thought I haven't had much fears, but then I had to face my fears, many of my fears. 100 fears. When we broke up, I just felt like so many things came to my head, like stay lonely forever, not being understood, what I will do alone, will be able to pay rent and everything by myself. Oh my gosh, like 1,000 things that I wasn't aware they existed, because I thought I live alone since I'm very young, and I left my house since I was very little. Since I was, well, not little, but 19. So, and I moved countries. So I thought, in the superficial mind, that all the things are sorted. And everyone around me thought that I was like that. But they were a little bit sorted, but not fully. Because it still was the fear of, the question, will be able to do it myself? I can't do it myself without help of anyone, and da-da-da. So when I broke up, I realized of many things that is still fears that still I was carrying. Even the day when he left of my house, I was like, how was a question for me, how it will feel to wake up tomorrow morning alone, and go to sleep alone, cook dinner for myself, things like that. And not having anyone to talk, at home or waiting for me. Something that simple. So, especially in other country, because I don't have my family here, no one. And that's a big point. Like in Argentina, it was a bit hidden, because the first time I broke up with a partner, it still were people there for me. So I couldn't really face this fear fully, And here I was like in the middle of nowhere in Australia. I was like, oh my gosh, And all of a sudden I start to feel safe. I just been working a lot, in myself. But I was like, okay, now I will be my mom and my dad. And that means to be an adult. Don't wait anymore for anyone to look after me. It's easy to say, but it took me 33 years to really understand it. and I think the hemorrhoids, part of why they were healed, it was because I learned to feel safe with myself, no one else, like not expecting anyone to look after me, just being me with myself in this planet, and also connected with God, because it's not myself. My relationship with God went every day deeper and deeper, because when I go to sleep now alone, sometimes I feel more safe than before with my ex-boyfriend. It's unbelievable, but I feel angels, God, everyone surrounding me. I feel less alone now that I am alone physically. And so this is also part of awakening the multidimensional consciousness as well. Sometimes we need to be alone to awaken this. It's like we need how to learn, to swim. Well, you need to be in the middle of the water without any, I don't know the name in English for the salvavidas, like the thing you float, the orange thing. What's
Paddles.
the word? Yeah, paddles.
Paddles.
Yes. So when you're there, like, oh, I need to wait a minute. I know, I learned. Let's try. And then you're like, oh, I can do it, and then all done. It's just that second, But yeah. So if the chakra is in balance, what we see in the physical body, I was probably only seeing the hemorrhoids, but what really happened in the astral or the spiritual thing is this energy, all over the place, like no focus, and this creates a space for also larvs is the name in English, like etheric, astral larvs, to still eat from, it's disgusting, but eat from that, So if we are not, the energy is not flowing correctly, then we will attract entities or things that may be connected to this energy and still being feeding themselves from our own energy. And sometimes larvs, astral larvs, like insects from the astral, also could be people that is connected to us, getting our vital energy. And sometimes even our own ancestors. That's why we are going to heal the family tree and the ancestors today in order to heal the root chakra. This is what happens when you are in a healing session. Okay, to open the root chakra, you need to do exercise. Well, coming back to the physical, to open and activate the root chakra, you need to exercise. So every time you're connecting with the physical body, you are anchoring, and then you make your energy flow towards your physical body. So it's very important to have a healthy life. There are 3 different of exercise that will help you to open the chakra in the different levels of the aura, because maybe your chakra is open in the lower levels of your aura, more connected with the physical, but not as connected with the upper levels. So when you do physical exercise, you are working on the lower levels, and this needs to be done, needs to be worked. Then there are another group of exercise that are is more about working with your mind, with your emotions, that will open the chakra in the astral level. And then through meditation, breathing exercise, yoga postures, then you can open the chakra to the upper levels, but need to be open in all the levels to be fully active and fully working. The majority of the people, not talking about light workers, people out there, they don't have it fully open and active. They have blockages. So this affects directly the immune system, because if your vitality is not full, then you will get sick easy. So that's why, for me, the lockdown is not really helpful, because if the people is locked, into not doing exercise, not talking to others, The root chakra is the first chakra that will start to diminish the power and is starting to get blocked. I mean, lockdown without, I don't know, maybe a lockdown with a good guideline of activities to do every day. I don't know, maybe that's different, but as seen in television, it's actually very dangerous for the immune system. Because the immune system needs a good root chakra and anchor. This, I will send this through email for you. The organs linked to the root chakra, we have the kidneys, well, the bowel, how I said before, Crohn's disease, hemorrhoids, bones. The chakra also is holding memories from past lives. Okay, this is an exercise that I will send through email as well or we will do it now in the meditation as well.
Can you send the whole PowerPoint? Yes. Whole PowerPoint? Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yes, because it's a lot of information. The charisma also comes from a healthy and grounded root chakra. And to unlock abundance, we also need a well-grounded and healthy root chakra. So if you want to attract anything to your life, the very first thing you need to do is work on the root chakra. And to ground the root chakra, we have these questions that I will send to you through email, and are the questions that you need to do as homework, but basically reflect about why you think you choose your parents and the culture of the place you were born, because this is very connected with the root chakra. How your mother experienced pregnancy. Is, if you don't know, I invite you to talk to your mom and ask her. If you don't have a mother, you can ask to your auntie, grandmother. Look for a source of information to know what fears of her you could receive during those 3 years. Because those 3 years when you were not in the belly, your root chakra, so you were the kid, right? And then, because your chakra is not working fully, you are using the chakras of your parents, specifically of your mom. So you will be very affected and conditioned by how your mom feels, if she feels safe or not. And again, feel safe is not about being in the middle of the war, but like I said before, I realized I was feeling unsafe, in my own body, being with myself, until I found my own power. And I'm a person who is not in war or not in any really extreme condition, and I was feeling not safe. So think of that mom that you had and think like how safe you felt in that family, in that body. How were you received when you was born? Not only by your mom and your dad, but the fourth question is asking about your grandparents. Because some grandparents are cool, like, yeah, we will have a grandchildren. Other grandparents could be like, no, she's got pregnant, she's so young. And then you as a baby may hear it, and you're like, oh, I'm not welcome. My grandmother is not happy, or my grandmother is asking for abortion, and so your understanding of surviving, will be affected by that. I remember one of my clients that in the regression, she understood why certain things were happening in her life by listening to the grandmother, the auntie, and her mom and dad live in the house because she was upset with her mother and her auntie and well, She had the baby alone, she had no partner, and she was very touched by her mother. Yeah, so the baby were not here as human, but wasn't as a spirit into the womb, perceiving everything. So eventually she needed to heal the things, yes, in her adulthood. Also, how were your first years of your life? I will ask you to address 3 memories that were very important for you. How you feel about your physical body. This is very important. Do you love your physical body? Are you feeling comfortable in it, or are you all the time attacking your physical body, saying, "No, I don't like this, I hate this," or da-da-da? That's the root chakra as well. For sure, it will be also connected with the third eye, so the way you perceive things. But we work from the root chakra for these 2 weeks, because your physical body is your temple. And if you feel safe in it, if you really want to be here in this country, doing this job, and where you live now, do it. First of all, it's important to remember when I said to you why you picked that, choose that country to born in. So I will ask you as well, more homework. Just check in the country where you was born, who are the ancestors there? Not only yours and your family, so you can pick the fears in your family tree. For example, my grandfather and my grandfather and all my family, they came from Italy to Argentina, and they couldn't see their family anymore. So they came to Argentina, that's it, no phone, no nothing, yes? And they live in that way. I understood that in my root chakra, I have their fears as well. And those fears were awakened in different parts of my life. For example, now, when the COVID, those fears awaken. Not now, but at the very beginning of COVID, I got paranoid the first week because I was doing this, so I started healing. But I felt like, oh my gosh, what if I can't see my family again? You get that crazy feeling of, what if I get stuck in Australia forever, or not forever, but even 1 year for me would be, not 1 year in time of a space, but I felt like, what if anything happened to my mom? And I can't take airplane tomorrow because no airplanes. So I won't be able to say goodbye, or I wouldn't be able to be there to look after them. All the craziness started in my head, For me, that I'm in Australia, but maybe you are in a different states of your family, closer family member, and also felt similar. So I was triggered by the COVID, but the emotions coming up were not even mine, but also from my ancestors, my family tree, because I imagine my grandparents like coming to Argentina and thinking, where I'm going, in the middle of the nowhere, because they couldn't check in Google Maps where Argentina was. They were probably, oh my gosh. And now I lose my identity. In Italy, I was Mr. Whatever, and in Argentina, I am another immigrant more. Yes, one number more, and those things were coming up to my own root chakra and my own experience, and I was healing those things. And for some reason, I choose this family tree. I could choose any other, but there is a reason why I wanted to go through this. So this is an invitation for you to think, what are your triggers and why you may pick that family tree. And understanding this is a way as well to honor the family tree without anger, without saying, oh, no, saying like, thank you, because I have learned this lesson. Through this trigger, I learned this lesson, and I had this amazing opportunity to become the person I am now through these lessons given by my family tree. When you heal your triggers, you heal in the family tree as well. Because the things you are taking from your family tree are being healed through you, then your family tree has less karma and they can come back later, and they don't have to go through the same lessons you did, because you're healing that for the whole tree. That's normally what light workers do. They take the karma of the family tree. We do take. It's a decision we do. And also because we have this power as well, like maybe other family members, they can't. And then is the ancestors of the land, which is different, because me in particular, my family tree comes from Spain and Italy. I don't have native people from South America, but I was born in South America. So when I was born in Buenos Aires, I couldn't meet any native people because no more native people in Buenos Aires. But somehow is their land, because there were thousands of years there, and immigrants were only 200 or 300, 500, but the majority of people came there 200 years ago. It's very little, like very new, you know. So if you go out there to any forest, you will feel the ancestors, because they are still there, and they need to be recognized, because they feel hurt, and we need to pay back the karma as well. Because if I'm living there and I can have an Argentine passport, I can climb to the mountain and do the things I do in Argentina, is because of them, you know, because I need, you know, somehow to honor them, yeah. And you in the country you are now, or you were born. So, because we heal in the womb of planet Earth. If we want to heal, this is for the next workshop, but still we're getting prepared for that. If we want to heal our own womb, or our own uterus, well, we also need to heal in macro, you know, and thinking, okay, so where I was born and who's there for me to teach me a lesson, but also what's the heritage I got? Because when I was born in there, I crossed this door gate in that certain part of the world, and there is an energy that I took for me, and it's a specific energy from Ireland, from Brazil. You was born in California, Rachel?
Yes.
Yes, you are from there. Oh, okay.
Yes.
So you will work with the native people in...
Yeah, born and raised here.
Yes. You will work with the native people there. Is it Hopi? The Indian Hopi?
Yes, those are the natives here in California.
Yeah, I did a ritual with an Indian Hopi.
My father's family.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then my father's family is Italian, and my mother's family is Union.
Is what? Your mother's?
My father's family is Italian, and my mother's family is Union.
I don't understand that. Sorry, is from what country? The family of your mother?
My father's family is
Italian.
from Italy.
Yes.
And my mother's Ukraine.
Ah, Ukraine. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Oh, okay. Ukraine. Wow. Okay. You know much about that? I mean, about your ancestors from Ukraine?
From the Ukraine? A little bit, not a lot, because they came during a time of war. So, you know, I've done some of the genealogy just like I've done, I actually have been able much genealogy on my father's side than on my mother's side.
Yeah, but I think more of your spiritual thing comes from your mother. So it would be interesting if you could explore a little bit more of what are the gifts that may your grandmother may have and your great grandmother, you know, and things, you know, the secrets of your family tree. Maybe you cannot talk to them, but you can ask her in the next 2 weeks to communicate with you. You know, you're like, I want to know about you. I want to recognize you in me, because they feel a bit weird about it, because this is like you. Imagine that you grew up in United States, you have the culture of United States, and then all of a sudden your son gets married with a Chinese person, moves to China, and then becomes Chinese forever. And it's like, oh, you know, I'm not recognized, you know, or good with the Chinese, that you come from here, you know, and it's some grief, you know, and that's why our family tree, like our closest ancestors, they are like, hey, like, see me. I don't want you to talk about me, but recognize me. I'm here. You are me as well, because you have it in your DNA, you know, your culture, your things, your gestures, and things like that. So in the next 2 weeks, I will ask you to, if you don't have access.
And I'm named after her, so.
Oh, really? So yeah, so communicate and ask them, well, you know, I'm here if you want to tell me, you know, who you are, you know, what you need to heal through me, what I'm here to receive the messages. And they may not talk to you in your ear, but then you will meet people and then they will give you messages, you know, you watch a movie or things, and then all of a sudden it's everything aligned. And then you're like, okay, you know, I know where to work, and hey, this is in me, you know, I will validate it myself. I don't need anyone to validate this to me. You know what I mean? I do it myself. And so one work is with the family tree, and the other work is with the ancestors of the land. So two different works. One is to see our family tree and see the whole thing, the good things and the pain, and yeah. And then the other work is to also see. When I say see, this is like in family constellations. When you are doing family constellation and you say to the other people, I see you. Because when you see them, is that moving them from the darkness, you know, the dark cloud that is like hidden, to the light. And it's like, yeah, now you are part of my universe. And then you are incorporating them to that. I told you to draw or to write what's your universe. And then you're like, you will put them in there. And then they finally will rest in peace. You're like, okay, now it's good, you know. And even if you don't know the names, you know. Because these people suffer a lot, both of them. They had to do 100 things. We are now having this amazing life, but we don't know the things our ancestors went through. They're probably very, very hard conditions. And and then the ancestors of the land, to recognize them and to see what we have to learn from them as well, what heritage we got from them as well, you know, and see what is our mission connected to them. If I was born in South America, this is all the native people in South America, the way to connect with nature for me. I was born in there because this reminds me myself in Lemuria, the way I was actually in past lives, Mapuche, which is a community that lives in the south of Argentina and Chile, in the Andes. So I had like 2 lives as Mapuche, which is kind of indigenous. and they were connected to UFO, they were connected with multidimensional consciousness, with Pleiadians, with nature. They could feel nature. And I think for me, born in Argentina was a reminder of what my mission is, to not forget, you know, and yeah, and also to born close of the third eye, which is in Bolivia. Well, 100 things that are the reasons why I was born in Argentina. So I want to know your reasons to born in Ireland, Brazil, and California. It's a lot of homework. I will ask you to work at least every day. Because this is a program, so if you can every day work at least half an hour in writing your things, meditating, connecting, or whatever thing you do, and take note. Take it very seriously.